Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Carol Massar along with Tim Stanovic. Let's get to some stocks on the move for the week overall. It's been an interesting and full week. Joining us right now is Jordan Fitzgerald. She's Bloomberg News equities reporter joining us here in studio. So where do you begin?
I think the place we go every week, we got to talk about Sandisk.
I know, right?
Today was bizarre.
Today was crazy.
Do we know why? What happened? Well, why don't you explain what happened, and then we can kind of get to why.
So Sandisk shares surged more than 20% earlier today. The company did report results that really impressed the market. The second quarter revenue did beat. And then they just suddenly paired, and people weren't quite sure why, but were still able to close in the green, up 6%. Most stocks would be thrilled to have a 6% gain, I think, on the day, but when you had such staggering highs earlier, it's maybe a little bit disappointing for some investors.
And Sandisk up for the week more than 20%.
Sandisk up since its IPO more than 1,600%.
I know. It just,
just 11 months ago.
I'm fascinated by this company, and certainly there's an AI story in all of this as well. So it's fun and interesting to watch. Microsoft. For the
Microsoft. Speaking of big tech earnings, Microsoft had its worst week since 2020. It also reported results earlier this week. Shares closed down 8% week over week, and it really just comes from expectations that the market had for Azure growth. It just wasn't where people wanted it to be. And with this AI race so tight, and when you do have, companies like Sandisk, who don't do the same thing as Microsoft, obviously, but are part of this bigger AI ecosystem, like really outperforming, then they want to see known giants like Microsoft really deliver as well.
Especially when you're spending so much, right? Like
100%.
I think was it Azure up about 38% or something in terms of growth, but it was maybe not enough considering all the spending that's going on there. All right, let's go to something different. It's a space we talked about a lot this week.
Yeah, Humana. What happened with Humana this week?
Humana, like we said earlier this week, it really just comes from Trump administration actions to freeze payments to these Medicare Advantage plans that involve private companies like Humana. And so Humana closed down 27% this week. That's the worst week for that stock since 2009. And Humana, I think some investors were hoping that it would have recovered from the lows we've reached earlier this week, and it kind of just didn't really get there, and so was one of the biggest laggards in the S&P 500 this week.
We have time for one more? I think we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk shoes.
Let's talk shoes. I mean, I've got my Uggs on right now. I'm helping deliver this for Deckers Outdoor.
Everybody says Deckers Outdoor. They say Uggs and Hoka. They always forget about Teva.
Tevas.
Oh.
Sorry.
Maybe that's why.
Great shoes too. I do own all three, but I think the business there maybe isn't as big. And with the freezing temperatures in New York City this week, I think Uggs on everyone's mind. But best week since 2020 for Deckers, up 19%, and it really does come from boosting their earnings and sales forecasts over this strong delivery number in the Hoka and Ugg brand.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.